My name is Jonathan Clark, and this is my presentation for Dr. Phil Howard's Consumer Behavior class, Fall 2008. This is my movie research project exploring McGuire's psychological motivations as expressed in Francis Ford Coppola's movie, The Godfather. Maslow said that all humans were motivated by 5 factors: our physiological needs, our safety needs, want for belongingness, our needs for esteem, and our needs for self-actualization. McGuire took what Maslow thought of and expounded upon it, and McGuire came up with 16 different categories. And his 16 specific categories answered one of 4 questions. Was the motivation and the desire based for cognitive growth or effective growth? And was the human desire, was it based on preservation of the status quo or for positive growth? McGuire's psychological needs broken down into 4 categories. Here's a table listing those needs. The cognitive preservation motives are based on consistency, attribution, the need to categorize, and the need for objectification. The cognitive growth motives break down into the need for autonomy, the need for stimulation, theological needs, and utilitarian needs. Effective preservation motives are the need for attention reduction, need for expression, a need for ego defense, and need for reinforcement. Effective growth motives break down to a need for assertion, need for affiliation, a need for identification, and need for modeling. In 1972, Mario Puzo wrote a crime novel entitled The Godfather. In 1976, Francis Ford Coppola and Puzo wrote the screenplay to turn the novel into a full-length feature film. The film and the novel is about the Corleone crime family of New York. It's based around Vito Corleone and his 3 sons. The film was highly decorated. It's considered one of the greatest films of all time. It won the Academy Award for Best Film 1976, Best Screenplay, and Marlon Brando won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Vito Corleone. The plot of the movie centers around motivation. There's 3 events that make the crux of the film. The first being Virgil Sollozzo's attack on Vito Corleone. Vito Corleone's plan for his family, and Michael Corleone's transition from a civilian and a war hero into the head of a crime family.
Corleone. I need a man who has powerful friends. I need $1 million in cash. I need Don Corleone, those politicians you carry in your pocket, like so many nickels and dimes. What is the interest for my family?
The character of Virgil Sollozzo is based around effective growth motivations. Virgil Sollozzo is a heroin dealer who comes to the Corleone family for support and money and political protection to grow his business. McGuire talks about effective growth and the need for assertion as the human desire for success and admiration that we seek from our peers. Sollozzo's sole motivation is his need for assertion. In addition, he has a need for affiliation. As an independent, he can only go so far. As an affiliate, he would have the support and protection that he needs from the Corleones to grow his drug business. McGuire talks about the needs for identification and objectification. Oftentimes in this movie, words go unspoken, but actions take place. It's kind of the old saying, actions speak louder than words. After Vito Corleone denies Sollozzo's request for protection and denies his offer, Sollozzo shows proper respect towards Vito Corleone, even knowing that now he'll have to murder Vito for his plans to continue. And McGuire speaks about a need for modeling. A need for modeling basically revolves around we react to how others react around us, and our actions are reactions to others. Sollozzo, after his assassination attempt on Vito Corleone, Sollozzo has to go on the defensive now to continue to try to grow his drug business. The character of Vito Corleone is a central character in the movie. He's based upon three central motivations that McGuire talks about. His need for consistency. In his life, he has a strong standard of behavior, and within the crime world, they have a self-policing nature where everyone's actions have to be held consistent, or otherwise they face consequences. McGuire talks about a need for attribution that Vito talks about in the clip we just watched. Because of his son's motivations and their personalities, they all have a path that they've made for themselves. And McGuire's need to categorize can be adapted into the crime world in that they're all very territorial and they all have a consistent way of behaving.
I'm not killing you. Hey, what are you gonna do? Nice college, boy.
When the movie begins, Michael Corleone has just returned from World War II. He's considered a war hero and a civilian in the crime world. He eventually goes on to be the head of the Corleone crime family. Michael is he's subject to the reference groups around him. There's three reference groups that McGuire refers to. The first one being his aspirational reference group, and that would be, for Michael, it's his father, Vito Corleone, and this is the group of people that you look up to and admire and eventually one day want to become. And Michael also has his associative reference group, and that would be his peers that he relies on for support. And this would be his brothers and people in the Corleone crime family. And then the last group is the dissociative reference group, and that would be the people that you model your behavior against, perhaps. All humans are motivated by a theological need. A theological need simply is a way of saying that the ends justify the means. This is the central theme to The Godfather and something that we can use and recognize in our everyday lives.